That's my friend Michael Ghegan, who stopped by the studio the other day. Besides being an all-around incredible multi-instrumentalist, singer, composer, arranger, producer, he is also an authority on playing the saxophone in a pop music situation, having toured with people like Elton John, Jamiroquai, the Allman Brothers, Aerosmith, and most recently, Supertramp. In today's video, he's going to share with us his tips on how to effectively accompany singers as a saxophone soloist and a lot more. Metcalf here from BetterSax.com. If you like these videos I've been making where great saxophone players come in and share their knowledge with us, be sure to drop us a thumbs up right now and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. There is so much good stuff in this video. You're really going to want to watch all the way to the end. And please leave us a comment below letting us know the most important takeaway for you.
I think my job as a supporting role, as a keyboardist or a saxophonist, is to let the singer do their job, lay the melody out to the audience, and then my job is to very simply dance with them and never step on their feet. Our job as soloists is to come up with a tasty, hopefully simplistic counter melody to their melody.
Why don't we do a thing where we play Roxanne, okay, and I'll play the melody.
All right.
And you show us what you mean. First, we're gonna have to like make a track though. Can you like play keyboards or something?
I can do this.
So in a matter of minutes, Michael put together the backing track we're gonna use to demonstrate. I'm gonna be playing the melody on tenor as though I were the singer, and Michael is going to be accompanying me as the soloist on the soprano saxophone.
The melody's so muscular, and then all you gotta do is pepper it. The changes are so nice that all you gotta do is pepper it with the sweet moments of the chord changes, and then just stay off of that singer. I have very strong feelings about playing vernaculars that don't fit the genre. As much as I am a diehard fan of pretty much every genre of music, I'm gonna try to avoid overwhelming bebop or straight ahead stuff on a beautiful pop track.
Right. So you mean you want to play basically diatonic?
I want to play the right notes at the right time. You know, I'm always gonna play a little roulette with that, but I wanna start slow. And the way I would equate it is sometimes you just have a perfect conversation with someone. And you're never doing this. You're never invading each other's space. You're just very simply communicating to really stir a reaction from your audience. And I mean, we as performers, don't forget, we're in the service industry. And these people waited and worked hard to make their money for our show, so let's give them the absolute best focus that we can. That's really my way of looking at it. When I'm soloing behind a singer, a lot of times there's a reason they're singing a melody. It's because it's a great melody. So what I'm gonna do on sax or keys, but on the one-note instrument, I'm gonna try to weave around and use elements of that melody because the people know the song and the melody's ingrained in their head. So why not take that melody? I mean, if something's going, bum, 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 why not go, bum, 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 boom, 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 boom. just a little counterpoint. A little counterpoint goes a long way. It doesn't have to be, which is fun, and I'm a big fan, but I think start your conversation off slowly.
Right, and so kind of do like responses to the melody phrases that are already out there. Yeah.
Quotes. And for us, one note at a time instrumentalists, pick your sweet spots. I mean, if you're going to go from, let's say the tune's starting out in minor, the stage is already set for like heartbreak. And there's nothing better than to have one note at a time. So use those thirds. Use those sevenths, and then wait until that chord passes the next chord and pull out that heart-wrenching note. Really pull out that second to that third. And then when the minor fourth chord comes, if you're in, let's say you're in G minor, and when it pushes to that C minor, wait on that 9 minor 3, and then kind of box it around the sweet tones. But don't give them too much too soon.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Wait, save a little for the main course.
Who are the saxophone players or musicians you listen to that kind of gave you inspiration for this style of playing?
Man, I'll tell you right now, I worship at the temple of Sir Branford. I mean, I was a teenager when like Dream of the Blue Turtles, when Sting's Dream of the Blue Turtles came out, and if you haven't seen the documentary Bring On the Night, it will change your perspective on playing. You got these unbelievable players that Sting wisely recruited to basically take his brilliant songs up to from 9 to 20. It's just unbelievable. And Branford basically created a new genre of playing a one-note instrument over pop music. Oh, of course, there's been a myriad of unbelievable saxophonist, soloist, all the Steely Dan stuff, but Branford, for me, epitomized this round, circular way of playing that was rooted in straight ahead, rooted in bebop, rooted in orchestral and classical music. Man, his classical sonatas are out of this world, the orchestral stuff.
Yeah.
And he brought all of these elements into radio pop songs and never once stepped on toes.
Yeah, and his sound on soprano, and just like
it's life. It's gross. I mean, I'm so mad at him.
Hey, what are you playing? What's your setup here?
I'm playing a Yamaha 62R.
Nice.
One piece, solid body with curved neck. And like you and I talked about before, I have no idea what my mouthpiece is. I'm a very staunch geek, but I am horrible when it comes to gear. Yeah. And you are the master. You basically got the Louvre here of artifacts. It's unbelievable. I've been in a candy shop all day in here. I've reached Mecca. Well, let's take a picture of this and we'll put it on the web. And if someone knows something about the carvings on the wall on this thing, then please let me know. Get in touch, because I would love to know who refaced this thing.
I met you last year when you were in Alassio.
Yeah.
Playing with Supertramp.
Yeah.
And that was like an amazing concert. I was so impressed with the way you're playing in that, like that pop music and those classic tunes, and the way you fit in there. And really, man, you were kind of like the star of the show.
Oh, that's...
In that, being in the audience, you definitely had a very positive reaction from the crowd every time you played.
Thank you. Well, first of all, that means a lot to me. Roger Hodgson is, there's nothing you can say. Those songs are timeless. He wrote them. It's impossible, but he wrote them when he was a teenager in early 20s. And these are, 90 million records later and just a sold-out world tour every year. They come back for the songs. I've never heard songwriting like that. But the thing that I'll always remember is I was maybe 5 or 6 years old, and my uncle would come over with a bin of records. And Breakfast in America was one that just, like everything, I put them on. I sat in the corner with headphones, not knowing why. I just love doing this so much. And these saxophone solos bit me. They just stood out. They just jumped out. And every sax solo on the Supertramp stuff, the melodic arrangement of them, there's not another note you could put in another place to make it more perfect. The timing, the tone, everything. I idolized that. And then I, went through life and forgot about it. And then years later, I get a call and, hey man, do you want to do the gig? And I'm like, yes, that'd be fun. And the thing is that Roger, who's a really special musician and writer, he's really unique, super, super rare. He said to me, just go, do what you want to do on that section, which is an honor and a half. And I actually turned him down a couple times because I don't want to play another solo. There are some things that I'll stretch out on, like I take some soprano stuff out, I'll take some alto stuff out, there's the harmonica stuff that's so fun, but I love playing the original solos the way that Helliwell played them because there's just something magic, and you know what? I owe my audience that. I really believe in that. I really believe in give them some extra flavor. Give them your flavor, give them your technique, bring your game to the ballpark. But absolutely, there's something about giving credit its due. And that's something I absolutely love about this gig, and I wouldn't change one thing about it. But the other areas where he's just like, run with it,
Yeah, I think it's great that you bring that up because this is something I think a lot of saxophone players, that study jazz, they get this impression that everything has to be original all the time. And in fact, it's not always appropriate. In fact, sometimes it's better to, like you said, and it's okay to recreate an existing solo.
Oh my God.
It's nothing wrong with that.
Think about it this way. I used to stress about that. Like, I think every normal person does stress about it. I have to come up with something that no one's ever heard. Man, there's 12 notes.
Yeah.
There's 12 notes. And when we listen to popular music, and let's just get this out there because people, there's always, someone's hating on this and someone's on this. Popular music is called pop because it's popular, because it's tasty, because it's hooky, because it was produced well, because it was written well. It's supposed to be fun. I grew up and I live in New Jersey, so I've got Clarence Clemens hanging over me at all minutes. That was one special thing that happened. It's just like when I play, and some of my best friends have Jersey cover bands, and they're amazing. But when I play one of those solos, I am going to cop Clarence Clemens. I'm not going to play my style of it. I'm going to do that thing. I owe the artist that much.
Right. Yeah.
So stay true to it, but when you're on stage, bring your own flavor to the way you play. And there's nothing wrong with quoting songs that have been quoted and playing melodies that are great.
Yeah.
There's only 12 notes.
Yeah. It's all been played already.
It's all been played, but it hasn't been played by you.
Exactly.
So, find a way to give it respect and do it your own way.
Yeah,
it's a fine little balance.
Yeah.
But man, there's plenty of room.
And I think I've found that by allowing yourself to memorize a solo and do that in performance, there's a lot of growth that can happen musically there. Instead of trying to reinvent improvisation with every solo.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like what you just said, is everything's been played, and our job is to just build vocabulary, build quotes, build references. It's the same as your verbal language. Like you want to have a memory palace that you can just draw from and then give back to the audience. There are some days where my brain, like today mostly because of our night last night, my brain just simply is not functioning at even 40%. I'm going to need to rely on that library of things that I have somewhere stored that I can bring out when I'm not at my best.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
That's fantastic, yeah.
I mean...
touring, the jet lag, the late nights, all of that. You
don't always feel well.
Yeah.
You don't always sleep. Yeah. So show up and have a good encyclopedia of references to draw from.
Yeah.
You're saving yourself.
Yeah.
And you get great stuff to play.
Yeah. I put links in the description below where you can follow Michael and find out where he'll be on tour in the future. Thanks so much for watching, and see you soon in the next video.
Man, I've been looking at this room online, wondering, and now I don't think I'm going to leave.